Hello humans, this is Random Guy and welcome to the Random Channel. Today we're going to be reviewing, continuing on with the Monogatari series review. And this time we have Monogatari series Season 2. I don't know why they name it like that. It's just called Monogatari series Season 2. I don't know where the Season 1 went. I'm guessing it's like either Nisei Monogatari or Bake Monogatari. Either one of them is Season 1. I'm guessing Bake Monogatari Season 1. But yeah, as I said, it's just an absurd ass show with the fucking naming and the way the timeline is set up. Even in the future ones, I think at the end of either Suki or Hana Monogatari, the main character passes out from his school, graduates from his school, and like becomes a college student. And then like in the next series, like Owari Monogatari, he comes back to his school and as a 12th standard student, is like in his last year of high school, which is like he was just about in he was in college last time, and they said like, oh, he was gonna be back in high school. It's like, why is like again and again and the story is changing, switching is just absurd, man. It's absurd. Okay, so this time, as I said, Monogatari series season 2. So let's start off with the pros and cons. The start is quick. There's not much place to think about things. There's just like continuously the things move along as they come along, which is certainly something that I appreciate in this one at least. What the fuck is this? Okay, so I'm just talking about it. So yeah, as I said, the moving things along was a thing, but at the same time, what they did is they started putting forward boring stuff. I should have put this in cons, but I've just put it here. That they'll start talking about a lot of stupid stuff and a lot of irrelevant subjects like kanji and discussing the meaning of names and all that bullshit. Like, what the fuck? I couldn't care less, honestly. I could not care less. I don't know if it's a subjective thing. I think some people might like that, some people may not like that, but certainly the way it is set up, I certainly didn't like the kanji bullshit that they were talking about. The main was removed and he came back in like the 5th episode. So until then, a lot of the show, I have the first 4-5 episode, I wasn't enjoying to that extent. I generally don't enjoy when they don't use the main properly or just remove him from the story for just the fuck of it. Other thing is that I want a harem ending for this show, like honestly, man. I want the harem ending show for the first 5 episodes. As I said, I enjoyed the first 5 episodes, but because of that, I just came to a realization that a harem ending for this show would be just great. I would love a harem ending in this show, but I know this show likes to look at things from a very different aspect of like choosing between things. What the main character doesn't like to do is what the show likes to push forward is that the main character has to choose between 2 or more people or something like that. But that is why what happens is that what ends up happening is they're probably gonna go for monogamy, which they have confirmed multiple times over. As the show moves forward, the main character again and again says, "I only love, Hitagi, whatever name, Senjogara. She only loves her. He loves the other girls as well, but he doesn't love them as much as he loves this one. So he generally, goes for her, which is a little absurd for me considering, I don't know why he specifically targets, this one Senjogara. I don't know. Senjogara is good and all. Like, I'm not saying she's not good. Personality certainly has changed. His character has grown, but comparing her to like Hanekawa, I don't know. Hanekawa is just like too good. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's got a great body, and she's just overall good. Like, I don't really see the problem with her. There's only the stress issue with her that can be easily resolved once the main character gets into a relationship with her, but they just don't go that way. They just don't go that way. I don't like that at all. I'm reading way too many doujinshis of this show. Like, I think at this point I've read at least like 100 doujinshis. There are like a lot of them, but I certainly have read like at least 100 of them. I've gone through. So yeah, that's certainly a good thing. When I stop a show midway specifically to go out and look for his doujinshis on N hentai, then you know the show's chicks gotta be good enough for me to be looking that shit up. What else we got? They have they have this thing, right? They have a specific episode where they're like time traveling, right? But they make sure that the concept of paradox doesn't get in the way. That's something I appreciate. Like a lot of the shows do time travel, what they would do is like they fuck the shit out of time travel, and this becomes a paradoxical mess. Like Interstellar, like they say, if you watch Interstellar, it's like, yeah, humans help humans. Future humans, but when did the humans get to the future? Like, if the every single story were to end this way, humans were supposed to die on Earth unless that portal, the wormhole, were to open. But if humans opened that wormhole, how did they get into the future in the first place? Which makes absolutely no sense at all. Like, honestly. So there's that. Hold on, let me see why they were doing so much. Yeah, so they kept the concept of paradox in mind, which is good for them. They didn't fuck up like Interstellar and many other shows, both anime otherwise. One of the other girls, Sengoku, her name just reminds me of a hentai called, like, what was it called? Goku something. I don't remember the name of the hentai anymore. It's a good hentai. I'll leave the name in the description if you always want it. If I remember honestly. So yeah, the girl with Sengoku, she pushes forward the concept of victim mentality. This is something I really like about this show, that under the guise of various things they talk about, they start to talk about various issues in life and everyday life, and like other aspects of things like society and everything. So they do it very subtly, but they do it all over the place. Like if the Sengoku, they go for the victim mentality and how the people work, and they think like people are going to leave them alone if they act like a victim. Finally, a kissing scene is shown in this series. There are actually a kissing scene on the show, and they actually have some hot ass kissing scenes as well. Like, there are a lot of good kissing scenes in the show. Not too good, nothing Campione level, but certainly good. The Hachikuji molestation scenes are priceless. They're like a lot of the time that the main character is walking down the road. He sees Hachikuji, he just slides over a little bit, and then just runs over, grabs her and starts molesting her. That's fucking, you think that's horrible, but that's just funny in the show. Honestly, I think I've seen some memes of that as well. The problems of the show, the cons of the show, is that there's too much random conversation going around. The story starts abruptly. As I said, the story may be going along quickly and fast, but the story starts absurdly, and where did the main go was not explained. Not at this point. I thought they were gonna do it like by the end of the episode. I mean the series, but they did not. I'm multiple times ahead. I'm at Owari Monogatari, and I still have no fucking clue as to where did the main character go in those 5 episodes. They never really explain. He just comes back at some point. The show, when I started watching it, I knew it was super popular, but I was looking at it from a standpoint of it's like kind of a mess of a show. But certainly, it was a good show. I really enjoyed it. As I said, I still prefer Hanekawa much times better. Honestly, if I were to give you a list of the girls that I would hit up, is that number 1 would be Hanekawa, right? Number 2 would be Shinobu. Because like if it was between Shinobu and Hachikuji, then I would prefer Hachikuji, considering I like her more than Shinobu. But the fact that Shinobu can transform into like an adult form where she's like a more horror, that gives her more versatility. So I would go for Hanekawa, Shinobu, Hachikuji, and then Senjogara maybe. So yeah, these are the order of things that I would certainly go for. Maybe even Kanbaru would be higher than Senjogara. I don't know. There's that. There's not enough action in the show. I know it's not an action show, but just like I'm always expecting some action at the end of the day. but it's fine if they don't want to do action. That's their decision. It's not exactly a problem, but I'm just saying, like, if there was action in the show a little more, that would be certainly good. um they left several story arcs kind of unfinished, where they like just left them. I guess they were open for interpretation. Certain other things that makes no sense, like the main character has the sword which can kill like aberrations, but at the same time there's one scene where like he and Shinobu are holding two each. So they're holding four of the that particular sword, and where the fuck did they make like a copy of the same sword? That scene is never explained as well. Um, so that's a little weird. I'm going into the cons, right? Okay, yeah. Next is for some character I don't feel like watching this. Yeah, a lot of the characters like they're so random characters sometimes that I don't really care about them enough to want to see world building. They're like past, their present, and what they want to be in the future. Nothing like that is like something that I personally enjoy. As I said, personally, it's a very subjective matter. You probably would enjoy it if you like that stuff. I certainly didn't. For some characters, I didn't like the world building and everything. Um, I didn't like the ending, not because like the ending is flawed or anything, but every ending of every single story is just leaves a dent on you in this particular season. I would say just like it's good, but it's just like I would have preferred a bit of a different ending if I was given the choice. But obviously it's their show. They if they want to do whatever they want to do with it story wise. I'm not saying the animation's fucked up or like the story's boring at the end. That's why I'm saying the story's fucked up. Like, I'm just saying that I didn't like the way it went. Okay, next is I need more of Shinobu and Araragi, which is not even a wish. But that was just this season. In the next season and other seasons, they actually have a lot more conversation going on. Even in this, they have a lot going on, but they're going to be moving forward with that shit. The rating for this show, I'm gonna give it an 8.5, just like the first season. The Baki Monogatari compared to Nisa Monogatari, would got 8. This one, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I certainly liked it. So there's that. Thank you so much for watching. There's a link in the description to my Twitter. Go follow me there. There's a Dtube link in the description. Go watch me play hentai games there. And bye bye.